All right, let's get into a story that kicks off with a journalist, a really historic hotel in Istanbul, and what seems like a pretty simple assignment. But our journalist, Esra, is about to find out that some hotels don't just hold guests, they hold secrets that can literally rewrite history.
And that brings us to the real heart of this mystery. I mean, what if you were holding a key, but instead of opening a door, it opened a portal to a completely different time? What would you even do? Well, for Esra, that choice is about to get made for her.
So we meet our main character, Ezra. The year is 2022, and she's a journalist, doing a pretty routine story, you know? It's about the 130th anniversary of the Pera Palace Hotel. She has absolutely no idea she's about to stumble into the story of a lifetime.
The hotel manager, a guy named Ahmet, is giving her the grand tour. He's pointing out all the fascinating history, how it hosted people like the legendary mystery writer Agatha Christie. But then he tells her something kind of weird. He mentions a strange key that was found in Christie's room right after her famous 11-day disappearance.
So that night, Ezra ends up staying in that exact same room, number 411. And right as the clock strikes midnight, this bizarre, violent earthquake starts shaking only her room. When it finally stops, everything's different. The furniture, the clothes in her closet, and then she sees a newspaper. And yeah, the impossible has happened. She's been thrown over 100 years into the past.
Ezra is suddenly completely lost in 1919 Istanbul. This is not the city she knows. It's occupied by British forces, and it's right on the brink of the Turkish War of Independence. Her simple little article just turned into a fight for survival.
And, just to make things even more complicated, she finds out she has a perfect twin in this era, a wealthy heiress named Pera. And, the resemblance is just uncanny, which, as you can imagine, immediately leads to a very dangerous case of mistaken identity. And this is where the stakes go from high to impossibly high, real fast. The hotel manager, Ahmet, has actually followed her into the past. But what they find is horrifying. The real Perid has been murdered. And this wasn't random. Perid was supposed to stop an assassination that would completely alter the course of Turkish history.
So Ahmet cooks up this absolutely desperate plan. Ezra, the journalist from the 21st century, has to become Peridi, the murdered heiress. She has to step into a dead woman's shoes, navigate her life, uncover this massive conspiracy, and save the future of an entire country. No pressure, right?
So now, Esra's living this complete lie. She has to deal with Perid's family, her fiancé, her entire social circle. Every single conversation is like walking through a minefield. One wrong step, and she's not just exposed, she's dead.
And she is surrounded by some seriously powerful and suspicious people. You've got George, this ruthless British officer. There's Halit, a dangerous club owner who seems to be working with the British. Then there's Reshat, Perida's jealous fiancé, and Sonia, a maid who seems loyal but who knows. Anyone could be a friend, an enemy, or the person who killed their doppelganger.
Their only shot at figuring any of this out is Perida's diary. It's supposed to hold all the secrets about the assassination plot. But, of course, there are two huge problems. First, it's written in Ottoman Turkish, which Ezra can't read, and second, it's gone. Stolen. Just when you think things couldn't possibly get more complicated, the story throws a massive curveball. During a confrontation, the main antagonist, Halit, gets shot and badly wounded. Now, that should be a good thing, right? Wrong. In the future, Ahmed starts to, literally fade out of existence. And here is the absolute gut punch of a reveal. The man they've been fighting this whole time, the dangerous club owner, Halit, is Ahmet's father. It's a classic time travel paradox. If Halit dies in 1919 from that wound, Ahmet is never born, which means he never travels back in time to help Esra in the first place.
So now Esra has to save her enemy to save her friend. This sends her on this frantic series of jumps through different time periods, using other magic keys to try and find penicillin in an era where it actually exists. It's just this chaotic, dangerous trip with some very unexpected stops.
Okay, so with Halit saved and Ahmet's existence back on solid ground, they can finally get back to the original mission, find that diary, stop the assassination, and figure out who killed Pera. And the clues start leading them right back to the night of the murder.
And the killer is the one person they never suspected. It wasn't the British officer. It wasn't the jealous fiancé. It wasn't the nationalist collaborator. It was Sonia, the quiet, unassuming maid.
So why did she do it? Well, Sonia's motive is a tragedy all its own. She was in love with Halit, but he only had eyes for Peride.
But here's the real twist. In the year 1920, consumed by jealousy, Sonia found her own time travel key. She jumped back a year to 1919, murdered Pera, and stole the diary to make sure Halit would one day be hers.
This table really just sums up the incredible web of lies they were caught in. Halit, the guy who seemed like a British collaborator, he was actually a secret Turkish nationalist. Rashat, Perida's patriotic fiancé, was really a British informant. And Sonia, the loyal maid, was a killer from the future. Absolutely no one was who they appeared to be.
So with all the secrets finally out in the open, Ezra and Ahmet race to the docks for one last epic confrontation. They managed to expose all the traitors and stop the bomb that was meant to kill Mustafa Kemal, just in the nick of time. They saved history. Their mission is complete. The future is secure. They used the 2 keys back in room 411 and successfully travel forward, totally ready to get back to their lives in 2022. But when they open their eyes, something is just wrong.
They didn't make it all the way. They didn't land in 2022. They completely undershot it and have landed in 1995.
And that is not the only shock, because in the very same room where this whole crazy journey began, they find a baby girl. She's just there, abandoned and totally alone, with zero explanation for how she got there.
And then comes the final mind-bending twist. Ahmed recognizes the scene. He remembers that on his very first day as the hotel manager back in 1995, an abandoned baby was found in room 411, and that baby was sent to an orphanage and given a name, Esra.
This just blows the whole story wide open. It reveals the ultimate paradox. Ezra wasn't just some random journalist who got sent to the past. Her entire time travel adventure is the very reason she was found as a baby in 1995, creating this unbreakable loop. It leaves us with this one haunting question. Was her journey really about saving history, or was it just about creating herself?